Just take us through the first half and how Montana State was able to get so much separation.
Yeah, absolutely. Montana State's a good team. We started out, we got some great looks. They didn't go in, and we failed to. I have done a poor job of helping our team understand how to guard their way through rough shooting stretches. We're too dependent on making shots to determine how we feel, and that comes back to me and my job of helping them understand that winning games takes a well-rounded effort. And so obviously Montana State shot it great, did a really good job. Again, as you're getting good looks, as you're doing good things, you've got to guard your way through the ebbs and the flows. And again, we'll always be a team that is going to shoot it. Again, because you saw in the second half, when it goes well, you can score a lot of points quickly there. But we failed to guard our way through the rough stretches. And then you saw a little bit of, again, understanding that toughness wins. And I'm a firm believer that the tougher team wins almost always. And Montana State was the tougher team today. I mean, and we've got to get better quickly. The beauty of this is, if there is any beauty, I'm going to find some. The beauty of this is that our season's not over, and we've been saying that for too long now. But we just have to get back on track and find a way to be peaking in Boise. We're going to practice on Monday. We're going to get after it because we've got to get a lot better quickly. But obviously, I want to credit Montana State for their ability to share the ball and knock down open shots. They had people. Obviously, Esme was unbelievable in the first half, but they shared the ball well, and everyone kind of. They had a lot of people hit one in the first half and really carried them through. But I would say a lot of it was just our inability and lack of understanding that you can guard your way through rough shooting stretches, and that comes back to me and my ability to help our team understand.
Such a big strength of their team is their ability to score off turnovers.
Yeah.
I'm sure you drilled it all week, but then when you look at the stats, and they forced 28 of them. So just talk about that aspect and their ability to really affect the game.
Yeah, I mean, credit to them. Active hands, aggressive. They're decisive. They did some things that we wanted to do. But again, active hands. They don't let you go many places without some sort of pressure. Again, I thought that when we spread it out, especially early, we were able to get inside the defense and move it. And we got a little bit hesitant when the shots weren't falling. And anytime you hesitate against a team that's that aggressive, it comes back to haunt you. And that's some of that just toughness and resolve to keep just doing the right thing, even when you're not seeing the results. And again, so we've got to just drill that even when you're not seeing the results you want, just doing the right thing is what matters. And again, some of our struggles last week, we were way too results-oriented, way too outcome-oriented, and I felt that come through today. In that, again, when you're not getting the result you want, when you're not getting the outcome you want to individual possessions, you panic, you abort mission, you do things that are going to hurt you against a team that does this.
You mentioned after the game in Missoula that it's a really tough team to beat when they shoot the three as well as they do, as they can. How do you see that maybe play out in this game, maybe especially in the second quarter? They go 7 of 10, but that's 5 of 8 for a little while, and then they hit 2 in the final seconds.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, as you want to keep the ball in front. Esme's really shifty. Esme does a great job getting people's body. Uses her hostage dribble, uses her hezzy, does great jobs getting to people's body and creating advantages. So then you end up helping. And again, when you have multiple people making them, it makes it harder to rotate. It makes it harder for kids to feel good about rotating. And so credit to them. Obviously, Esme hit a couple of those as well. She played fantastic today. But again, as they're hitting them as a team, it makes them harder to guard because there's just fewer places that your kids feel comfortable rotating from. It's hard to trust it when everyone's making shots.
They're going to bring a lot of pressure. You pressed them a little bit too, especially down the stretch of the first half. What did you like about that?
I like it because it helps our team play hard. It helps our team develop a sense of urgency. And it wasn't. I mean, it was only okay, but it was one of those things where when you look like you're stuck in a malaise, maybe that press can be kind of a shock to your system, a jolt to just bump up that sense of urgency.
Did you see them do anything differently in this game compared to the last one early on, first quarter, that helped them get out to the big lead early?
Not especially, honestly. Like I said, I thought that they maybe they rolled a little bit more in their pick and roll, but I don't think that was. I think that was personnel. Once Mara got hurt, they started rolling a ton more, but that's kind of what those kids that come off the bench do. They pop less than she does in their pick and roll action, in their get action and all that kind of stuff. So they rolled more, which would probably be one schematic thing that was a little bit different. As the game went on, they tried to keep us out of the middle more, but I don't know that wasn't necessarily early. Yeah, like I said, they were maybe a little bit more active off ball than they have been in games past. So yeah, I mean those are some small things, but I don't think that they did anything drastically different. No.
How'd you feel about the physicality in this game and the difference in free throws that you see?
Oh, I try to live by the Joe Mazzulla quote, like, did you die? Like, there's no foul. Like, you just have to play. Like, that'll never be anything I think about, anything I want our kids to think about. I think it needs to be something we think about less as a group. Like, officials are human. Officials are trying their best. Whether you think you got fouled or didn't, like, has zero bearing on the game. And the moment you give control of the game to 3 people who aren't playing a minute, you're going to be behind the 8 ball a little bit. And so it was a physical game. I want it to be a physical game. This game should be a physical game every single time because of how much it matters.
Anything else?
Coach, your message to the team right now, getting ready for March coming up here in a couple of weeks. What's your message to them after a loss like this?
That short of Montana State, who had this conversation with Trish before the game, like they should be, their season shouldn't come down to 1 week in March the way they're playing right now. Their season shouldn't. I'll put that on record right now. Their resume, they should not be playing for 1 week in March. But for the rest of us, we need to play good for a week in March in Boise. We need to come together. And there's a lot of teams that are going to cut bait on the season, and we refuse to let our group be one of them. And so our message is, we're going to come on Monday, we're going to go to work, and we're going to get after it. But like I said, I want to be clear that I don't think Montana State's a team that should be playing for 1 week in March.
Thank you, Nate.